Well, should I say good morning or good evening? Well, this is my first time coming on here live screaming like this, but I really couldn't sleep tonight. Um my brother was murdered back in 2018, and we haven't found out who murdered him yet, and we're still in the process of trying to get answers and stuff. Um, Around about this time, really it really gets hard for me because it's Father's Day, and then I think about um, his only daughter and his only grandson. I think about them, and I think about my mom and my dad. Um, my niece lost a father. My nephew lost a grandfather, and my mom and my dad lost a son. It's just been a long 4 years of no answers. Um, I had to write letters to the chief of police, to the governor, to the state attorneys before last year so they can talk to my mom and my niece about the case and what was going on with the case and everything. It had gotten to the point where that was the only way that I knew that they would see them. So a week after I mailed the letters out, um, couple of days after that, they decided they wanted to invite us to come in to talk. Well, when we got invited to come in to talk, it wasn't about nothing. It was the same thing that they would say over the phone, but only one thing came out of it, and it wasn't good because it was bought against me. They told me that I couldn't call up there anymore. I couldn't come up there. If I wanted to know anything about my brother case, I had to go through my mom or my niece. But that didn't stop me because I know my rights. I know that they couldn't stop me from calling. They couldn't stop me from coming up coming up there um to find out anything. But I did back down just a little because of my mom and my niece. Um, but right now, I'm glad they took the cop off his case that was working his case. I'm glad they took him off because he wasn't doing anything to help my brother's case or nothing like that. So we have a new detective on his case, and she's doing things that the other detective didn't do. She has found out things that the other detective didn't find out. So at this point right now with her, I'm feeling like by the end of the year or the beginning of next year that my brother case will be solved. And I'm really praying. I'm really praying that it happens so it'll give my niece, my nephew, my mom, and my dad closure. This is something that I'm not gonna stop working on. I'm not gonna stop looking for answers. It's just a shame that we haven't even gotten close to solving his case. But I feel as if we keep praying and keep asking the public for help, that it will come to an end and we will be sitting in the courtroom facing the person or persons who murdered him. The sad thing about it is that my brother was a good man. He would give anybody the shirt off his back if you were hungry, you didn't have anywhere to stay. My brother will give he would give that person a place to stay. He would help that person out as long as he could. And my brother didn't fool around with too many people. He I should say he is like me. I don't fool with a lot of people. If I know you, I'm not gonna be around you. I'm not gonna communicate with you. And that's how my brother was. My brother was a free spirit, but he just didn't deal with a lot of people. Um, I'm a free spirit and I don't deal with a lot of people. So that's something me and my brother had in common, being a free spirit and stuff like that. You know, um, I don't know. I'm trying if the sound went out on one part, that was me trying to turn the volume up because it just don't seem like you guys can hear me. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, my brother was a free spirit. Um he is a person that you would love to be around. He always had jokes. My brother was a clown. He was a clown. He was loved by everybody. He was loved by everybody. So this is how I know that my brother knew his killer or his killers. Because for one, if my brother didn't know you, you wouldn't even be around him. And if he knew you, you had to call him before you come to his residence. And this is why I say my brother knew his killers because he let them in. And as he was walking them out the door, they shot my brother 5 times in the back. They had already took what they was gonna take for him. It just didn't make sense to me that they will kill him. And that's what happened. So happened that he was able to go down to the lobby. And I'm going to make this clear. My brother had a home, but him and my other brother had gotten into it and he went and got a room. Okay, make that clear. Make that clear. So you understand what I'm saying. So as my brother was letting them out the room, they shot him 5 times in the back and they took what he had in his room. And they left him there to die. But so happened my brother had enough strength to walk down to the motel lobby to get the man that he was close to at that motel to let him know that he had been shot. As the guy calling the police, the ambulance, my brother told him to call my younger brother. And after he had given the guy my younger brother number to call him, he died at the motel. Um, the night of my brother passing, my younger brother called me and he said, "You need to go to mom's house. You need to get there." So I'm asking him what's going on because that night I was doing some off the wall bullshit, some off the wall ish. And it's like every time something bad happens, I turn into a different person or I'm doing some stupid stuff. And the night that my brother called me, my younger brother called me, it was me and my daughter and my grandkids. We was lying in my bed and I just had my feet just walking up and down the wall. And my daughter looked at me and she said, "Mom, could you please stop that? Because that is so aggravating." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to stop." And I kept on. And then that's when I get the news that my brother had been shot. Just like when my stepbrother died, I was home lying in my bed. Both of my arms, they was in so much pain, so much pain. It was like somebody had done took a bat and just beat me in both of my arms when he passed. And the reason why both of my arms was hurting, because both of his arms was messed up. He didn't live. A semi truck ran into him and his family. They was off going to preach at a church, and a semi truck ran into them. So my brother and his youngest son died. But it's like when something is bad, someone is dying, I go through these changes. I go through these changes all the time. But that night, it was really weird because I never had done that one before. Walking my feet up and down my wall like I was trying to climb my wall, trying to get out of something. And my brother had a room upstairs at the motel. So all that connects together. That's why I was walking up that wall because my brother was going down them stairs. He wasn't coming up. He was coming down the stairs. So if you look at that picture and you can understand what I'm trying to say, you got it. It's like my intuition always leads me to something that I never want to know. It's like I know I'm a spiritual person because it's a lot of things that goes on with me spiritually. I'm very spiritual. I believe in all of the spiritual stuff. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in manifesting. I believe in those type of things. I love to watch the stars. I love to watch the moon. I'm a Pisces, so I believe in that stuff. My brother took his back. Yeah, let me get back to my brother. My brother took his last breath down at the motel lobby. And my mom wanted me to speak at the funeral, and I did. The night before we was going to lay him to rest, I couldn't sleep at all that night. I couldn't let me back up. Let me back up to when we all got to the hospital. It was very few people that I knew of that my brother would be with. So as I'm walking in, I see faces that I never saw before, but only one that I knew of. And I know my brother and him was very close. But I didn't stop to talk. I went into the room where the homicide detective, my mom, my younger brother, and my brother that's under me, they were all sitting there waiting on me to get there. So I walk in and I look, I see the homicide detective, but I knew before I left my house my brother was dead. But my mom, she was very clueless to this. She didn't know whether she was talking to a regular detective. She didn't know. But when I walked in there, I knew that was a homicide detective. Why would you have us in the room instead of out there with everybody else? Everybody know he had been shot. So I walk out. I walk back out, and when I go back out, I stop in the lobby where everybody else was, and the people that I didn't know, I clearly asked them, "Do you know who killed my brother? Do you know why someone would kill my brother?" They all looking at me like I'm crazy. So I leave it alone and I walk outside. So I had to call my father tell my father his baby boy passed and for him to come to the hospital. So my dad came, but I had to sit outside for a minute because I had to catch my breath because it was hurting so bad, like it's hurting right now. And my brother friend, Justin, the one I know of, he followed me outside and said, "Sis, it's gonna be okay." And I told him that night, this night will never be okay because somebody know who killed my brother. Somebody know why they killed my brother. And while I'm standing outside talking to him, my dad rolled up. That was the hardest thing I had ever had to tell my daddy in front of him. Dad, your son is gone. He's gone. And then we sitting at the hospital. I already knew he was gone. That's why I told my daddy he was dead. They let us sit there for hours before they told us my brother had passed. And the sad part about that too, we couldn't even go back and see my brother. We couldn't even get one look at my brother that night. They wouldn't even let us in back there. They was threatening to kick me out because I was banging on the door because I wanted my brother. All I could think about is I don't have nobody I can torture now. I don't have nobody that I can make fun of. And the things that I used to do to my brother when he was little, I got in trouble for a lot of stuff I did to him because I was the oldest and I used to say him and my other brother wasn't supposed to be here. I was the only one that was supposed to be here. And I couldn't tease him no more about it. I can't tease him anymore about it. And that was hurts. It hurts. It's like you never get over the death of a loved one. I don't care how many times people tell you, oh, you can get over it. They don't know your pain. They don't know what you're going through because they never had to go through this. The ones that tell you this, they never had to go through this. And I tell them, when you lose someone and you go through this, then you'll see how it feels. Losing a loved one, like I tell them, you never get over. This is something you never get over. This is always going to be with you. Your heart's still going to hurt. You still going to feel the pain from the night that you found out that they died. Come on now. You can't tell nobody that it's going to get better because it never gets better. I can sit here, I look at my mom. My mom called me today. Sabrina, have you talked to the detective? I talked to the detective last month. She told me some things, but I didn't want to bother my mom with this because I know how it affects her. So I told her today. I talked to her last month. But like I told her, I'm not gonna keep calling down there because I don't want her to do me like the other cop tried to do. I'm afraid of that. And I'm not, and like I told her, I'm not gonna do it. So I told her it's best that she calls down there today to get information. You know, I know how far to go now. I know because it was like with that guy Some was my fault why they didn't want me to come there because I was very demanding. I was very demanding. You guys gonna give me some answers. It's this, it's that. If it was your family member or somebody, you would have been had somebody in custody by now. They didn't like me because I'm open. I speak what I feel and I tell them how it is. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. So right now I'm trying to, you know, take it easy. And when I feel like I want to call her and talk to her and ask her some questions and stuff like that about his case, I will. But as of right now, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I know what me and her talked about. And I'm gonna leave it as that. What me and her talked about. I'm gonna leave it like it is. Because like I said in the beginning of this, I said that I feel that we're gonna get justice either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I really feel that we will get justice, and it's coming. It's coming. I feel it. And like I told my mom and my dad and my niece, if I have to die trying to find out who did this to my brother, that's what it's gonna be. I whispered in my brother's ear and told him, if I have to die behind this to find out who killed you, then so be it. So be it. That's what it'll be. Because I have to get justice for you. I feel that I owe him that much because I used to bother him all the time when he was little. I owe him that much. I couldn't even get a chance to tell my brother that I was sorry for the things that I did. I beat him up for all the stuff that I did, beat him up and all of that, taking his stuff from him. I didn't get a chance to tell my brother I'm sorry. But it was one thing I know I didn't forget to tell my brother, and that was the day of Christmas. The day of Christmas. And I knew something bad was going to happen the day of Christmas. Because you know why? My brother did something that he never did before. He bought everybody something for Christmas. The only people he used to get stuff for Christmas was my dad, my mom, my niece, and his grandson. He got me something for Christmas. He got both of my brothers something for Christmas. He gave me a gift card. I still have that gift card today, but I spent what he put on there for me. And I called him on that day because he wasn't at my mom's house to eat. I called him that day and I was like, "Yo, Jay, thank you for the gift card. I needed that." And he asked me, why did I need it? And I told him because I'm back in the church now and I have no clothes and I need more church clothes. And he always used to call me big girl. He said, "Big girl, well, you got it. Now go buy your church clothes." And I told my brother, I say, "I love you. Thank you. And I love you." And he told me he loved me back. He never tell me and my other brothers that he loved us. Only my mom, my dad, his daughter, and his grandson. He never told us he loved us. I knew something was wrong then. But then on the 8th of January of 2018, that's when he got shot. 9 o'clock at night. And his daughter had just dropped him off after taking him to the grocery store. Now, what if she would have been there? What if she would have been there? As I'm sitting here talking to you guys about that, let me tell you something that happened way, way back. My dad and my brother went down to my mom's sister house in Jacksonville to go do some work for her. And the day that they arrived there, they had been there for a minute or two, and it was raining. So my dad don't like to drive in the rain. My brother didn't have no license to drive, so my dad had to drive. So they waited till the rain slowed down. But as they was getting ready to leave, someone broke into my aunt's house, and they was looking for her son, but they thought my brother was her son because my brother and her son look alike. They dark, but the only thing was my aunt's son was taller than my brother. So they put the gun to my brother. And my dad is sick. My dad has cancer. He just had a kidney transplant. He only had the kidney transplant for about a year. My dad said he held his head up to look at the guy because the guy was taller than my dad. He said, I held my head up and I told the dude, he said, I told the dude, don't kill my son, kill me because I'm already dead. I'm sick. I have cancer. And my dad said, the guy looked down at him and said, sir, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to kill your son. And my dad said he left and didn't take anything. They didn't take anything. My aunt had done ran in her room. She was hiding. Her granddaughters was hiding. That was a blessing. But my dad did tell my brother to slow down. He said, slow down, son. You need to slow down. So, a couple of months after that, dad said he sat my brother down and he talked to him and he said, Jay, I'm afraid for you. And I feel that you, out of all my children, is going to be the one that get killed by gunfire. And look what happened. Look what happened. My brother got shot 5 times in the back. A senseless crime over something if they would have asked my brother for, he would have gave it to them. But they wanted to be bad. They wanted to do it that way. So now they left my niece and my grandson. And I mean, not my grandson, but his grandson my niece without a father, and my nephew without a grandfather. And right now, I can feel my niece's pain right now. She's not asleep. I know she's not asleep. If I call her right now, she's not asleep. She's up. This is what she do before Father's Day. She can't sleep. She's up all night. If I call my mom right now, she's not asleep. She's up doing the same thing my niece doing. I'm up doing the same thing my niece doing. I couldn't sleep. That's why I'm on here talking to you guys because I can't sleep. But something got to give. Something really has to give. The police has to do something. They have to solve this case because I feel that if they don't, I'm afraid my mom gonna have a nervous breakdown. She in this she in this group called the Circles of Mothers. She's speaking out now. She traveling from different places with the Circles of Mothers when she can. She go to school functions. I go with her. I join the Mothers of Circles because I need to vent too because that was my brother. So this is what me and my mom do. My niece go whenever she can, but she works. She has 2 jobs, so she really can't go like me and my mom can, you know? But I'm gonna end this right here. But if you are in the Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete, Polk County, Lakeland, Orlando, you feel and if you lost someone and you feel you need to vent or talk to someone, join the Circles of Mothers. This group is worldwide. My mom and the Circles of Mothers have been on BET on this show called Finding Justice. Go and watch it. Go and watch it. I think it's been 2 or 3 years since that's been out. It's called Finding Justice. Finding Justice. It's a BET segment. So, and if you feel that you need to vent to someone, you can reach out to me, and I'm going to leave my email address on here. And you can also leave me a comment in the comment box. So I'm going to end this right here, right now. And like I said before, if you need to talk to someone, you can hit the Mothers of Circles up, and I will have their information down in the description box as well. And thank you for watching my channel, and like, subscribe, and share this channel. Um, Before I go, I'm thinking about changing the name of my YouTube channel. Right now it's called Come Inside Sabrina's World. I don't know if I want to leave it at that or just put it at my name, Sabrina Stubbins, or just leave it as Come Inside Sabrina's World. And I have other channels as well, but I haven't posted anything on those channels, but I will be posting some things on those channels soon. So good night. Well, should I say good morning, and have a wonderful day, and may God bless.